Hello and welcome. So today in this video we will be continuing our Azure DevOps series, and in this video we will look at what are Azure boards and how to use them. Many of the times when someone starts to learn about Azure DevOps, they just jump on creating pipelines and building pipelines, but boards are also a very important component of Azure DevOps. It is the part that helps in task management, project management, allocating tasks to everyone, and to just keep an overview picture of a project, because it is not very easy to start, maintain and track any projects. So in this video we will see what are Azure boards and what are the other features that Microsoft Azure provides us for task management, and what are the components available in that. Also it is raining, so there will be little bit of background noise, but I think we can ignore that and continue. So here I am on my screen, and this is the page that I had shown last time, and this is the project that we had created. It is a timesheet project. Okay, and this is the section boards that we are going to discuss today. And if you guys want to know more about all these options that are available here and the things that you can do and you cannot do, I will list down one documentation. The documentation is created by Microsoft, so you can just look more at it and learn more about what are Azure boards. So most of the knowledge that I have gained are through Microsoft documentation, because Microsoft maintain their documentation very well, and most of the information that you want can be found over here. Okay, so you can just search for Azure DevOps and you will get this link. You can just go through all this, and this will be your one place where you can learn everything about Azure DevOps. Like most of the general things you can learn over here. So first things first, I will start with the work items that you see over here. Okay, this work item tab, and when you open this tab you will see something like this. In the last video I had shown a very quick thing how we can create this task over here, but in this video we'll see a little more in what I will say in detail. And yeah, so suppose I want to create an issue. Okay, now what is epic, what is issue, what are tasks? This changes depending on which framework you choose. Okay, for task management you might have heard about Agile, you might have heard about Scrum, you might have heard about many other task management framework. It is just like a philosophy that people use to keep track of their project. So depending on that, these things will change and you can control all these things. And the processes available in Azure DevOps are this. So I have some images that I can show you. Okay, so these 4 things are available in Azure DevOps. Out of this, the simplest one is this one, the basic one that we have selected right now. And when we choose this basic, I had shown last time in the last video that when we were creating this project timesheet, at that time we choose our process as basic. But if we want, we could have chosen Agile, Scrum or something like this. Okay, but for the simplicity of this video I will just go with this basic so that it is easier to understand. Okay, so in basic the epic is like at the top, and a single epic can have multiple issues, and a single issue can have multiple tasks. So this is the hierarchy that basically it follows. Okay, this is what it follows. Now if I want to create an epic, okay, so let's take for an example that I want to create an epic, and I will just say that sign in page. Okay, I'm just giving a random epic and I have assigned it to myself. So there are already a lot of things over here that you can see. There you can choose the state of the project, the reason, which area it is. Area I'll show what it is later. Area I will show what exactly it is in the later videos, but yeah, this is like a single form and you can just come and save over here. Okay, now just uh, now if this is a task and I want to have some kind of custom fields over here, right? We have the start date, that today will be the start date, and I want this epic to be completed within 2 months. Okay, so I have given a start date and an end date. But for example, if I want to put some kind of more fields and more data, then I can do that. I can just click, not over here, I can click over here, I can say customize, and I can just add my own fields over here. So if I want to, let's say if I want to provide a text field for budget, okay, so how much budget it should have or it should be completed within. So let's say I want to create a field as budget, and it will have what it will have, it will have number. Okay, it will have an integer, and I have added a field. And suppose if I also want to have like some kind of a field which will have how many total hours it will take, so I can create one more field and I can say total HOU hours, and this will also have an integer. So if there is any kind of a requirement that you need to have your own fields, you can just do it. Okay, you can just create it. And now if I go back and now if I try to create a new epic, I will get those extra fields over here. So I can have the start date, end date, I can put the budget as $400 or some hours like 25 hours. Okay, so this type of things I can create and I can save. So this is about epic. Everything that you can do it right here. And then as I said, that a single epic can have multiple issues, and multiple issues can have multiple, and a single issue can have multiple tasks. So for example, I created this epic of for sign in page. I can list it, I can create new items inside this. So for example, I want to create a Google button. Okay, I want people to work on a button that will allow to sign in with a Google account. So I have created it like that. Again, if you want, I can just effort as 8 hours, that I want this task to be completed within 8 hours. If I want, I can again create multiple or more custom fields over here, and I will just save it. So you will see that in this item we have a connected child item, and when you open this child item, you will see linked parent item. So this is how all the tasks are connected to each other, and how you kind of keep track of your task and the work in a project. So I will close this. This was about the work items, how you create a work items and how it is linked to one another. If you want, you can change the task, like it is in doing state, and then you can say it is in done state. Or if you want to tag someone, like I am like, this is a button but I'm not sure what they are talking about. Or if I want more details, like I can tag someone ft please provide more details. So I can just put comments over here. No need to send mail separately to my manager or to my lead or someone. I can just keep track of the complete project or the complete task over here. And then, as I said, you can have child tasks. Okay, like I will create a child task. So I'm just creating one more task. Okay, and I have just given it in the to do state, save, and it is assigned to me. Okay, so this was about the work items, how you create a work items. If you want to filter, if the tasks that are only assigned to you, it will show here, but if there are multiple people in your team, then all those task items will show up over here. Now all these fields that you see, if you want, you can just customize which fields you want, which fields you do not want. You can just go to column options, and you can see that I don't want to see the state, then the state will be removed from here. Okay, so these are all the options that are available. Okay, now I'll show this later. Open inquiries, I'll show this later. Import work items, it is little advanced that we will see later. And this is the recycle bins. If you delete some of the task, it shows up in the recycle bin. And all the things look over here are very simple and straightforward. Okay, now I go to boards. So all the tasks that you create, okay, everything that you create will show up over here, and depending what you have chosen in the filter, those things will list down over here. So suppose, and this is a type of Kanban board. So Kanban board are very intuitive. If you want to move the task around, then you can do it like this. So whenever a task is done, you can just put it in the doing state. Once it is done, you can put it in the done state. And if you have to like start again, then you can do that too. So board is just for that, to see your task and play with it like when it is done, and to for better overview of all the tasks that are assigned to you. And you can see over here, like this is the epic, and it has like one issue inside it, and that issue is like this. So you get a basic hierarchy structure. And if you, for example, if I choose this issues over here and I have a task, then you can click on this and you will know that this single issue has this task. And once you are done with it, you can just check it. I am not sure why it is not checking, but you can just check it and it will be crossed like this. Okay. Okay, that was the boards. These are different of kind of sheets or filters, but we were looking at this teams board, so this is what it is. But if you want, you can and you could create more boards. And if you go to analytics, you can see more things over here. You can see more charts and more description of all the tasks that are present right now. And these options can change a little bit here and there depending on what type of process you have chosen. Is it agile, is it sprint, or is it the basic one? And similarly, all these things are configurable. You can play around with all this. Okay, you can play around with all this, and you are free to do so. I don't think that I will like touch all these options, because there are too much, and many of the features and Microsoft keeps adding few features and keeps removing few features. So there's that. And so yeah, we are done with the boards part. Then we have backlogs. So backlog is a place where you organize all your tasks, where you assign priorities, where you see all the things in a particular hierarchy manner. So let's see, since all are closed over here, so it is not showing. But if so this is how all your task and all your entries looks like in a backlog. So at this place, you see that it is all in a proper structured and hierarchy manner. So it is easier to assign, it is easier to manage and look what all things have been done and what all things is still pending, to whom it is assigned. And it just gives a bit more control over the planning phase of a project. And you can add more things over here. You can let's say I want to see the priority of all the things, and I can see what are the priority of all the work items over here. So if I want to change any priority, I can just do it, that this is not more important, it can be done later, like that. And all the other things are basically similar, and these things we will look at it. I am sure we'll have time to take look at all of this. But we have understood, right, that whenever we want to, that if we want to keep track of all our projects, this is the place where we do it. And these are all the forms, this is all the options that we have. We can create child items for every parents, and In the backlogs we can have a hierarchy like this, and if you open any task you can see uh, all the parents are over here. There are two more things: development, deployment. These things will come to know once we have started with repository and pipelines. Okay, now I have clicked on sprints. So sprint is like a cycle. You might have heard about in project, but if you are starting then you might have not heard. But there are basically sprint cycles. So there will be a list of tasks or a list of milestones that needs to be achieved in a particular time or a period. For example, you'll see that in this quarter, so some projects have quarterly sprint, some projects have weekly sprint, some projects have monthly sprint, but the concept remains same, that there will be a group of tasks, a group of items that needs to be completed in this sprint. If you are not able to complete, then you can move it to the next sprint. And to check sprint wise, you have this sprint section where you can see what all things are present in this sprint and what all have been completed and what all needs to be completed. So you can just filter out by sprint. You can create a new sprint. I don't want to create it. And sprint was basically the thing that we see over here, the iteration path. Okay, so this is the sprint where we choose that whether it belongs to sprint 1, sprint 2 or sprint 3. In some projects there will be, instead of sprint 1, sprint 2, there will be month name like October 1, October 2, October 3, or in some places it will be like quarter 1, quarter 2 or quarter 3. So that's how you create a sprint and see tasks in a sprint. And as you can see here that all the issues are listed over here, and the task inside the issues you can see over here. So all these things are similar, you will find everything similar, but it is just like a different view of the same things. We have a backlog, we have capacity, we have analytics. Okay, so and then we have queries. Queries is like a database. So all these work items here is like a database, and you have queries. So if you want to find for a particular query, right now here we have only 3-4 items, right? So it is simple, easy to check what all things are over here. But suppose if in a big organization there will be at a particular time will be more than 500, 600 or thousands of epics and tasks and issues. At that time you can query it like a database. You can if you have worked in a database like select star from this table, select star from that table, then those kind of things you will be able to do over here. For example, if I want to create a query for all the tasks that has been assigned to me, then I can just do assigned to, and in the users I will choose myself. Okay, and it will show me all the tasks that has been assigned to me. And if I want to filter, like I don't want to see the issues, I don't want to see the epics, I only want to see the task, then I can just say where work item type is a task, and it will show only the task that has been assigned to me. And if you want to play, you can just play with all the type of things that are available over here. So you can see the start date, you can see filter on start date, you can filter on end date, and all those things. And then you can, if you want, you can also export it as CSV and share it with someone else. Next we have delivery plans. So when you create a project, you kind of have a milestone, like in 2 weeks this should be completed, in 3 weeks this should be completed, after 1 month we will deploy this particular project on production. To create those kind of plan, those kinds of milestones, we have delivery plans over here. So I have created one. I just gave it a random name called as beta test, and I have assigned deadlines or time by when I think that it should be completed. And along, when you keep adding more tasks in the backlogs, and as it is getting completed, you will get the complete picture of where exactly you are right now in the project. And again, you can modify all this as per your convenience. If you want to put more kind of things, like if I want to acceptance. If I just want to add one more marker, then I can do it. It will show over here, acceptance. So these were all the things. I just showed it in a small summary kind of, but I hope that why we use boards and how we use it is a little bit clear right now. And for more details, I'll just put this link in the description. You can check it and you can just go through it. And if you have any questions or any queries, you can just put it down in the description, and I'll try to answer as many as possible. So without making this video more longer, I'll just end it over here right now, and see you guys in the next video.